This is Amud Yomi, Gemara Berachos Daf Lamed Beis, Amud Beis. We're on the top line of Lamed Beis, Amud Beis. Amar Rav Elazar. This is really wrapping up the tefillah of Moshe Rabbeinu from the previous Amud Gdolah tefillah. Yoiser mi maisim tovim, says Rav Elazar. Tefillah is even greater than maisim tovim. Shidcha gadol maisim tovim Yoiser Moshe Rabbeinu. There's no one greater at Maisim Tovim than Moshe Rabbeinu. Avobigin loy nena elo b'tefillah. Shenemer al tev daber elai. Do not continue to speak to me this way, says Hashem. Samach le alei Rosh Hapiska. Go on top of the mountain and see Eretz Yisrael with your eyes. V'amar Rav Elazar, says Rav Elazar. Kedai l'zaynis yezer min atztaka. Tainus is greater even than tztaka. My time was that gufa zebim. No. Tainus, we're serving Hashem. Be gufai, whereas tzedakah is only b'memai. Again, I apologize that the video keeps on not having the appropriate lip sync, and that's why we're turning it off. Avam Rav Elazar, a third statement of Rav Elazar, Tefillah Yosef and Karbanos. Tefillah is greater than even Karbanos. Shenem Mar Lam Liroy Zivcheichem. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what I need all your Karbanos, Yuksiv. Uparizchem kapechem. Spread out your hands and you can dive into me. Rav Yochanan says Kappa. Rav Yochanan learns from this pasuk. Anyone Kayin that unfortunately killed someone is not allowed to dachen. Shenamar yedechem damim maleu. Your hands are full of blood. The Amar Rav Elazar, fourth statement of Rav Elazar, Miyam Shachar Beis Hamikdash. From the time the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, 3 lines from the medium-sized lines. Ninalu Sharei Tefillah. Unfortunately, the gates of Tefillah were locked, and our Tefillahs are not answered. Shenamar Gam Ki Ezak Vashavei Sasam Tefillasi. Hashem shut the door in my prayer. Vaval Pi Sharei Tefillah Ninalu. Of course, Tefillahs are still heard. It just doesn't mean they don't have the same potency. But even though the Sharei Tefillah Ninalu, even though the gates of Tefillah have been locked, Sharei Dima Loi Ninalu, the gates of tears are never closed. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, Shema Tfilasi Hashem Shavasi Hazina El Damasi Al Techerash. Hear my tefillah, Hashem. Listen to my tears and my outcry. Rava loigoza tenisa b'yom ha'da'ava on a cloudy day. Mishem shenemar sakosa banon loch me'avar tefillah. You walled yourself within a cloud. Kaviyach Hashem is within the cloud, so tefillah will not pass by. So Rava didn't want to be geyser at highness on such a day. Amar Rav Elazar, office statement of Rav Elazar, Yeshachar Beis Hamikdash, Nifsaku Chaimas Barzel V'Nizel Avim Shabayim. There's an iron wall between us and our Father in heaven. Shenemar, V'atok Alcha Machvas Barzel. Take yourself an iron pan. V'Nasata Soikir Barzel Bin Chavin Ha'ir. That's the end of the statements of Rav Elazar. And now in the first medium-sized line, we have similar statements. If you're Mayrich in your tefillah will never come back empty. Minolan, where do we know this from? Moshe Rabbeinu. Shenemar, the pasuk says, Vaspala Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu, and I'll daven to Hashem, Uksiv Basrei. V'yesh Hashem like Hashem listened to him. Eini, ask the Gemara, is this true? Amar Rav Chia bar Abba, Amar Rav Yochanan. And he contemplates that his tefillah come to heartache. That long prayers makes the heart sick. What's the cure in such a story? The tree of life is desire fulfilled. But what do we see? We see that davening long is not the right avenue. Like it's not the ma'arech is the issue. It's when you're ma'ayin after the ma'arech, after you daven long, you're ma'ayin ba, you contemplate it and you're waiting, thinking that of course you're going to be answered. That is the problem. Amar Rab Chama bar Rav Chanina. Says Rav Chama Rav Chanina, Imra Adam Shizpal Blanena. On the second wide line, he sees someone who davened and he wasn't answered. Yachzar v'yispalel. Shenever kavel Hashem chazik v'yisvecha. Kavel Hashem, daven Hashem. Have hope and daven to Hashem. Again, fascinating shot of the gain over here. He says what this means is to daven chazar sashatz, which means to listen to chazar sashatz and not be doing anything else, including, of course, learning. Tana Rabbanan, on the third wide line, there are 4 items that always need chizik. Ve'elu hein Torah ma'asim tovim tilo derech haaretz. Torah ma'asim tovim minayim shenemar. Rak chazak v'yamatz. Be very strong. Ma'oi lishmor lazos kol Torah. Chazak is ba'Torah v'yamatz is ma'asim tovim. Tefillah minayim shenemar. Kaveh el Hashem chaz v'yamizbech. Kaveh el Hashem. You have to strengthen yourself. Derech eretz minalan, which is earning money. Shneimar chazak v'amizibach. Chazak v'nis chazek ba'adameinu on behalf of your people. Says the Gemara of Ataymer. Once we brought up the topic of the Egel Azov, continues, and the Karbanos. Ataymer Tzion, and says Tzion on the 6th wide line. First word line is Tzion. Azvani Hashem v'adoishem shecheichani. Tzion says Hashem has forsaken me, and my God has forgotten me. Hainu azuva, hainu shchucha. What does the pasuk mean? There's two things: shchucha and azuva. Amrish lakish. Amru knesses Yisrael ne'ekdish baruch Rabbeinu shalaylam. A man marries a wife, a second wife, in addition to his first. He calls the actions of the first. You, Hashem, you've forsaken me, and you have forgotten us. That what? Which of course causes the first wife to be in a lot of pain. Biti, my daughter. There's 12 constellations in the heavens. 30 armies. 30 ligyain. Valkol ligyain ligyain brasel shloshim rihatain. Valkol rihatain brasel shloshim kartain. Valkol kartain brasel shloshim gasra. Valkol dasra v'gasra t'lisa b'shloshim eois. V'shishe v'chamisha alfei riba kechavim. Each every gasra I have created 365,000 myriads of stars. Kenegini Maisa Chama corresponds to the days of the year. Ve'kulan, says Hashem, Loi barisi ella bishvileich. For you, Klal Yisrael, Vatamrit, and you have the audacity to say, Asaftani Shachtani, says Hashem. Of course not. Hasishkach ish ola, can a woman forget her baby? Can I forget all the karbanos, the eilais that you brought for me in the midbar? Amr lefanav. So Klal Yisrael responds to the Shem Rebbeinu Shalom Hayel ve'ein. The first one line is ve'ein, about 15 lines to the bottom. Hayel ve'ein shichel of neikisik v'dech Hashem lo shichel imaisei ego. Okay, you don't forget anything, Hashem, but maybe you're also not going to forget the ego. Amr Allah. Hashem responds, now this I will indeed forget. Amr Lefanav says Klal Yisrael. Maybe Rachmana Litzlan, you're going to get my Sinai. Amr Lav Anochi Loshkachech. That of course I will not forget. Zeh Maise Sinai. Continues the Gemara V'hainu De Amri. I skipped the line. I will forget that Maise Egol. We're at the two dots, about 13 lines to the bottom, says the Gemara. They will contemplate for one shot before they daven, says the Gemara. Immediately, where do they know this? Amar Yeshua ben Levi, Amar Gra, Ashrei Yoshvei Veisecha. Only after they wait, they're Yoshvei. Only then do they daven. Amar Yeshua ben Levi, Amar Svalsar Lisha Shachas, Achar Tfilah, so an hour afterwards, Shenemar. That afterwards they'll linger in the presence of Hashem. Another they would wait around 1 hour. They would down for an hour. Then they would wait again for an hour after they daven. Says the Gemara, 1 second. If they do this 3 times a day, 3 hours each tefillah, 9 hours in tefillah. Ask the Gemara, what is with their Torah? What's going to be with their malacha? Answers the Gemara, Ella. They are Chasidim, and therefore their Torah, their Parnasa, they will have no issues. We continue at the 2 dots, about 8 lines to the bottom. Said the Mishnah that even if a king inquires as to your well-being during Shvanesa, you do not answer. Placing you do indeed stop. Why? Because it might be sakanas tafashis, which really sheds light on the whole end of the Mishnah that in case of sakanas tafashis, of course, one does stop in the middle of davening. Meisvei, they asked on Rabbi Yosef 1 second. You see an anas, someone who wants to hurt you, coming to you, karim bakanegdu a wagon. Lo don't stop davening, but daven short and then leave. So what do we see? We see that you don't stop even for a second. It's the fashis like kash al dafshul likatzer. Yikatzer, if you'll have to be makatzer, then of course. Vim lav paisik, but if not, you should indeed stop your tefillah. When you stop over here, I'll pluck it off for Tanur Rabbanan, Ma'aseh b'chaseh echad, 5 lines to the bottom of the next year, b'siyata dishmaya.